Yeah, so yeah, I'm in Reno, Nevada. So I woke up this morning and my car wouldn't start. So the guy that I'm living with, I asked for his keys so I can jump my car. I think maybe one of the kids might have left the door open, and it ran the battery down. So anywho, so as soon as I get outside, it's like 5 something here in Reno, Nevada. As soon as I get outside, it's like a black security car parked with his lights on, and then you see like 3 police, like a minute or 2 after, pull in, circle. You can see, like, okay, so I'm parked on the curb, like right when you hit the corner. I'm parked like right here. The car was parked to the left, facing, yeah, facing me. It was a black car, a security car. And then, like, I want to say like 2 minutes after that, or not even 2 minutes, I'll say a minute delay after that, 3 cop cars came and turned down this street right here. And then, like, as I'm hooking up the cable cords, then they came through this roundabout, this street. So I am almost 100% sure that they are either listening to your full conversation in your home, or there's just cameras in your home, because there's no way that someone would have known, because I just hopped up out of my sleep to go start my car. And I was going to go to Walmart to go get some stuff. But so me hopping up to go start my car at 5 something in the morning, and it didn't start, and I needed to jump. But as soon as I came out, not when I went back in the house, as soon as I came out, I noticed the black car, because it was still dark outside. The light has come up a little bit. I've been sitting in the car letting it run, looking at a couple of videos. But yeah, it is really deep out here. Like, I ain't been outside because we've been on lockdown. So since we've been on lockdown, I've been in the house. But just to see that movement that they did was a trip. Because like I said, I try to ignore it. But obviously you can't really ignore it. If you're a TI, you're gonna see things. But I don't let it consume me like I did months ago. Let me see. Let's see. What else was I going to say? Don't let it consume you. I might have put a video up on Facebook like a week ago, about kind of what was going on. Then I took it off. 6 people looked at it and I took the video down. My Facebook account is Tanya Wise, if anybody wants to know. But you know, like I said, the ex-dude I was married to, he, I guess, come to find out, he was a worshiper. And, he was a worshiper. And, like I said, he had beat me up one day when we stayed in Stockton. When the police came, they made me leave. I should have knew something then, but they made me leave and let him keep the kids. And every day I would try to go back to the house, he wouldn't let me in. That's when I was on drugs heavily. But from that time, I may have been gone out of the house for a good week and a half. So at that time, you know, years later, my kids tell me that he was taking them to meetings, like I said, where they would get in a circle and it would be cops there and they would talk devil stuff. So if you want to know if cops are involved, cops are knee deep. The police department are knee deep involved in this situation. CPS is involved in this situation. Now, I had never had a CPS case till I started messing with him, and I ended up with a CPS case. Yesterday, I was going through some old paperwork. I was going through this paperwork, and I was reading the paperwork, and upon me reading the paperwork, I'm gonna go get it. But as I was reading the paperwork, this is from 2014. I think the paperwork is dated. But let me park. Not the best parker. Wait, let me park back where I was at. I wish I would have had my phone out this morning and recording. Yeah, you guys missed all the action. But let me park and let me go in the house. I don't know if you guys got your stimulus bull check or the stimulus check they're supposed to be giving people. However, everyone I know is around me, family members that I do talk to, and the guy that I'm staying with, they've all received their stimulus. Me and my kids haven't received anything, so I don't really know what's the take on that. This office cord. Okay. Let me go. Let's see what paperwork I had. What did I do with the paperwork? I got so much paperwork that I had went through. That's not it. It's in here. Okay. I don't know what I did with the paperwork. Wait a minute, this might be it right here. It's so dark, okay. Wait, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is the, wait, no. Okay, this is the paperwork. This is some old paperwork. Now, this is when I still was in the relationship with the dude that I'm almost 100% positive put me in this program. Okay. Now, if I read over this stuff, it's just going through my paperwork, a lot of paperwork. Actually, my mom came and brought me some stuff that was in her shed the other day. So I started going through the stuff and reading it. Now, I'm going to show you the paperwork right here. Now it says something about suicide. Party 1 suicide. Okay, the date was 4/19/14. Okay, incident history detail, that's what they called it. Law incident, and that's the number. Okay, now when you get to all this stuff right here, it says that, if you could read it, just something, slit her wrist. The caller saying that the female is unconscious due to her slitting her wrist. Okay. Okay, see where it says that. Okay. It's the dispatch call. It's a dispatch call. So, okay. Now, that's what that said, right? That was the dispatch call. Now, okay, I don't want to show my kids all this stuff. But, okay. Anyways, this says petition for hearing. Okay, now this is where the CPS people came in. For this call, CPS people came in. And let me read. Okay. So what they do is they build a case up against you. Now, this is the most time I had, when I was with him, the most time I had got in trouble. I got in trouble with the law on my own before then because, like I said, I was off into alcohol and drugs. I wasn't living properly. Then I got a couple disturbing the pieces back then, or petty theft back then. I had a little bit of a record back then, but domestic violence wasn't one of them. CPS wasn't one of them. Okay. Okay, so listen. This is the following accusations. That happened. Okay, they got, let's see, give up too much. April, what does that say? April, okay, I'm gonna read from the allegations from April. According to the Reno Police Department report case, and the case number, at WCDSS social worker, Arado Martinez, the following occurred. Mr. Smith and Mrs. Wise were consuming alcohol while the minor children were present in the home. Mr. Smith became verbally aggressive in the home and entered the bedroom where Mrs. Wise was laying down with a kitchen knife in his hand and told her, "If I kill myself, I'm going to kill you too." Mr. Smith then stabbed the mattress, it was an air mattress, next to Miss Wise, causing it to deflate. Mr. Smith went to the kitchen, grabbed a dinner plate, returned to the bedroom, and threw a coat hanger at Miss Wise and the dinner plate at her head. Miss Wise blocked the plate with her left arm, however, shattered and caused lacerations and swelling to her arm. My arm was busted wide open. Okay, to the arm, however, shattered and caused lacerations, swelling to her arm. Miss Wise did not call law enforcement as she reportedly was concerned about Washoe County Social Services involvement because they have a law out here. Okay, now this is what they're telling you. Let me see. This is some of the information that they're telling you. Saying, okay. Now, they have a law out here about if people are fighting in front of the children, the kids can be removed. Okay, so I knew this law. Okay, so I didn't want to call anyone. I was trying to calm him down so he can go back to sleep. He was more concerned about what had occurred than I was. I was hurt, but at the time I was drinking, so I didn't really feel as much pain as probably if I was sober. Okay. My child laid down in the bed with me and sustained a cut from the glass on her right elbow. Mr. Smith contacted Reno Police Department and reported Miss Wise was attempting to kill herself. Wait, look at this. Wait, what did he say? Wait, look at this. Look at this. It says, wait. Lay down on the bed with Miss Wise and sustained a cut from the glass on her right elbow. Wait. But it says right here, Mr. Smith contacted Reno Police Department and reported Miss Wise was attempting to kill herself, inflicted injuries to herself, and he did not want her to die or for him to be charged with murder. Okay, that's what it says. And it goes back up here. Now we're back up here to this page. It says, while Reno Police Department was on the scene, my child approached Officer Anthony Della and spontaneously reported, Daddy threw a plate at Mommy's head and she blocked it with her arm. Mr. Smith's criminal history revealed, this is what I didn't know, he had 17 arrests from domestic battery offenses. Mr. Smith was grossly intoxicated, evidenced by red, watery eyes, slurred speech, and a smell of alcohol beverages on or about his person. Mr. Smith was arrested for felony domestic battery. And Ms. Wise refused to provide any information to Mr. Martinez or sign any documentation regarding her children. I wasn't giving them shit about anything regarding my children because if they were taking him out of the home, why would I be signing? He's leaving the home. So what am I signing anything over for my kids to you or anything to do with that? The problem is gone out of the home. So then why would you then remove some children? So the system is real messed up. And this is to Ashley Burkes. I watch your videos and you talk a lot about the CPS and all this stuff. Yeah, it's a setup. It's a real setup. Its setup is designed to make you fail the system. But you have to be a little bit more wiser and smarter than them. They make a paper trail. You know, it was set up so badly when my kids did get taken back then because they have you trying to do like 3 or 4 different things. I didn't have transportation. Well, I had an Infiniti, a black Infiniti, but I think the starter went out on it. So it was just parked in the drive. But I didn't have transportation at the time. I had just got assaulted. My kids had just got taken. I was drinking still, not as heavily, but I was still drinking. Doing drugs a little bit, not as heavy as I was, but still dampering here and there. And when you're going through that and they're trying to give you like at least 4 different things to do, 4 to 5 different things to do on a day, and you don't have transportation, so that means that it's spread all across town. You're trying to catch this bus, walk here, hit your ride there to get to this appointment. Then you got to go over here to that appointment to get over here to this appointment to do that. So it's all designed to make you fail. So you have to be a little bit smarter than them when it comes to getting your children back. There's a couple times doing the paperwork dealing with CPS, they will word stuff so messed up, so horrible. You know, it's designed to make it so people look at you different, first off. The paperwork that they write down about you is designed for when your child gets of age, they might want to go back and read that shit. Like, what really happened to me? What happened is why did I end up in social service? What happened? So then your child will get a clue of what it was for them when they were younger and read, some things. So when they give you and some of my paperwork that I just been going through, I wish I had changed. But there's a couple times I know that I did change by reading it. So whenever they give you those documents from social services, read them. If you don't like what it said, you got to keep talking till someone hears you to get it switched and changed. Because this is dirty. This is a dirty, dirty game that they're playing with people. I'm just glad that God has the last say over everything, and He sees everything. He sees what's going on, and what they're doing. But I know that Ashley Burkes has been really stressed behind her kids and the social services and all that. All of these people are involved. All of them work together. But I believe there's going to be a big, big, big major bust about CPS and the cops, and we're going to score so big. It's just a matter of time. They're all involved in it. Your family, they're all involved in it. And you don't have to really think, because at one point, me and my mother were really close. I'm her only child. I didn't grow up with a dad, or just her and my grandmother. But so I have to really think, we had bad times and got kind of separated. I mean, there was initially a bond there. So I'd have to think maybe they could have came with her and kind of threatened her, or kind of like, not threatened her. They could have threatened her, or they could have just told her, your daughter's unstable, blah, blah, blah. We just want to keep an eye on her because, she has these 3 kids to raise. They could have came at her that way. I don't know which way they came at her, but I know she was approached because I know she's part of this. And it does say in the Bible, you're not fighting against flesh and blood, but principalities of higher places. I believe that too. But for your family members to get involved, it's something. It's kind of something else, I think, that would make them get involved in it. Their life could have been threatened. Something. It's something. And their life could have been threatened at first, and then they probably just jumped on the bandwagon, open wide, like, use me, work me, now I'm a part of this group, Or maybe they're seeing things their way. I don't know what it is, but it's something. And it's like, my son was tortured more. He was tortured a lot more and treated badly. The guy that I was married to, come to find out, I think that he did more things to my son than to my girls. He did things to my daughters also, but he did things to my son. And then he kept taking my son to these meetings, and it could have been because of my son's age. So you have to think back in 2014. So the things that happened maybe in 12 and 13, 12, 13, 14, somewhere up in there, I don't know, where he was secretly taking them to these meetings or whatever the hell was going on. But you have to think, my son is now 13 years old. So like I said, there's a lot of things. This is spiritual too, because like I said, there's some things that have come out in my son and have come out in my kids. They've said some weird stuff. They've acted like way out the normal. And then I could kind of see where they are kind of like little gang stalkers themselves at times, So I don't know what evilness or darkness he was implying onto my children. But all, my son, there's times where my son's been scared. He's had bad nightmares, dreams. A very dark child. He often talks about suicide a lot. So me just praying over them. I have them in the Bible now. We take turns reading the Bible. All I can do is pray and read and pray to God, get on my knees and pray to God and ask him. He sees everything. He sees that these were innocent children and this guy took advantage of them. He sees a lot of things. All I could do is pray and pray over them and pray life over them and speak positive things over me and my children. That's all I can do is pray. That's all. And, and read and pray. That's all I could do. So it's a big thing. And like now they've been out of school for this period. So they got this reading learning thing, this extended learning thing. So you go to the bus every 2 weeks and go pick up packets of homework for your kids. Now, on one of the packets of homework, I don't have it right now, but it was saying acting like you're a fortune teller and do this with the numbers and do that and do that. So, and then teachers keep calling, like teachers, I don't even know who the teachers are. So I got 3 students. So the teachers calling back to back, asking all kind of questions. Oh, make sure to, no, it's all a setup. It's all the school is all involved in it. It's all, most of the teachers are involved in it. It's all some weird psychosis stuff going on. I've been saying I want to get out of Reno, Nevada. I do not like Reno, Nevada. But like I said, when you're a TI, it's hard to keep a job for a long time. Maybe now if I went back to work, it probably won't be as bad as it was before, because when I was going to work before, at times, I was really paying attention to everything. So it's kind of like when you're in that, like, still very fear mode, where you're just paying attention to every little nook and cranny, and that's on your mind 24/7. That's how I was. So of course, me working like that and them, stalking me was going to affect me more, because I was just paying, it got to me more. But now that I still see what's going on, and it's not getting to me as much as it was, maybe I could try to go back out there. But right now with the coronavirus, I'm not trying to really go back out to nowhere right about now. But the cool thing about it is being a TI is like, I'm here with the guy. The relationship isn't all that. Like, I do have 3 small kids, so it's like I have to be somewhere with my children. I'm appreciative that he's letting us stay here. But Reno, Nevada is too much. And I know this stuff follows and carries. But in my eyes, what I see is that, coming to find out, he was a devil worshiper, I want to say, and probably some type of leader or something. Or maybe his father was, or something. His father was in the war, his uncle's in the war. So I'm assuming this goes back from years ago from their behalf. I was clueless to this, and so me and my kids were setting up for this. And I guess he couldn't involve me in it, because he seen that even though I was an alcoholic and a drug addict, I still wasn't down with, I probably wasn't going to be, openly be down with whatever his agenda was. So he used the children, and it caught me off guard by being drunk and high. So, So what I gather is that's why my target has been so strong, is because they want these kids. They want a lot of kids. Most of the kids that go to these schools, they want them to join whatever they got going on. Whatever's against God, they want them to join it. So, yeah, that's what it is. They think they got 3 little kids or whatever they think. But a mother like me, a praying mother, and a mother that's going to keep fighting to the end, that's all up to God. It's all up in God's hands. I pray over my kids. I pray that the enemy does not defeat them, and that they get closer to God, and that's removed from them, all 3 of them. But you can see the fear, like when I talk to them, or the fear they have, and they ask a lot of questions. So there's a lot of fear. So it's a fear that he installed in them quite a while back. But me as a mother and a parent and a child of God is trying to remove that fear as much as I can. And let them know that it's okay to go to God, and God will protect you from the evil and the enemy. So yeah, this is all, so basically, what I've gathered from what my kids have said about the meetings is that they have like white people women and men that are dating black people in particular, are having babies by them or marrying them, and just seeing how they operate and putting spells or stuff on these people without them knowing, and then talking about how ugly they are, how they can't stand them, how this, how that. So that's what it is, Got my kids trying to hate who they are. They're black, they're biracial. But so then you got to go back and think, why are a lot of these black people involved in this targeting as well? Some of these black people are perps. Black people are perps. Most of the black people are perps with my understanding is because they don't like their black self. They don't like their black self. And they want to be an in-house slave, an in-house nigga. That's what it is. Instead of a field nigga, they trying to be an in-house nigga. So that's where the blacks come in. It's hatred. Hatred is what? The devil. When you have all the hate and evil, it turns into evil. When you hate, it turns into evil. All that is of the devil. So you got to just run it all together. Right now, being in quarantine and all this stuff, I mean, it's a bit much. So, yeah, it kind of threw me off guard a little bit when I walked. It really didn't throw me off guard. Like I wasn't, before it would have had probably spooked me a little bit. But now when I went out and then I noticed the security car parked with his lights on, and not his regular lights, just, the outlining of his lights. The black car with the security, And then slowly after that, you see the 3 cop cars, and I think one of the cop cars' lights wasn't even really on, or they were, how they stalk you. One of their lights was funny looking. I can't say if it had one. But the crazy thing about it, when I was working at Amazon, is you got to travel a little bit of ways. Amazon is a little bit out. I think it's in Fernley, from here, Reno to Fernley. But when you travel out a little ways, and it was on Thanksgiving, and no one had told me that we're not working on Thanksgiving. So I assumed that we're still working, at Amazon on Thanksgiving. So I had drove out there, and it was at nighttime. It got dark. I don't know, it was at like 6, 7, I don't know. But I went out there and pulled to the side. A Jeep, police Jeep, with one headlight, just standing there. You know what I mean? So it's really like Reno is one of those old, you could tell just by being here, and the gambling, the hoeing, the drugs, you could just tell by, and the racism is goes back so deep, but you could just tell the feeling that you get in Reno is a very eerie feeling. Nevada is very eerie. So they are very deep in their hate. Very deep in their hate. They're very structured in their evilness. But God always, always is going to be lots of steps ahead of them. So it's just a trip. It's just a reality that, it's a reality because this is what you're going through and this is what you see. So it's a reality, but you have to make your own kind of life, your own. You have to make people aware of what's going on. But, if you really believe, then you know that there's going to be a change. There's going to be a change in this. It's going to be a change in this. It's going to be a breakthrough. Some way, somehow, some form, some way. God is going to break this through. Jesus is going to break this through. It's going to be a breakthrough. We're going to get a big victory on our side. I could feel it coming. Like, if you even look back at some of my older videos, though, I could say, like, something big was going to happen. Like, I could feel it. Like, it's just this, And maybe this coronavirus was part of the big thing I was talking about, but that's not it. That's not it by itself. I said in my other videos, what I really think is that the police, CPS, a lot of these higher up people in groups are involved in, it's something to do with children. They got all these rings to do with children. And it's going to be a bust about it. Every state you go through, Nevada is big to deal with the children stuff is what I'm telling you about. The state of Nevada is real big with this children stuff. I bank on it. And it's going to come to the light. It's other places, California, but not as, for some reason, something about Nevada. It's just something about Nevada. It's really just, I cannot pinpoint it, but I bet you it comes to the light. I know it's going to come to the light. It is going to come to the light. Yes, it is. It is, and it's going to be, when it comes to the light, it's going to be a victory, but it's going to be so ugly when it starts to expose the people that you thought, well, you have thought, because you know you're a target, so you really don't trust nothing or nobody. But when you just start to see it unfold, when you see the ugliness unfold, it's going to be like, oh, wow, dang. And across the world, it's going to unfold. It's about time. That's why things are shifting. That's why I could feel that energy. The energy was all off, just the way the energy was, and now it's shifting. Now, I've been inside the house for a good week straight. I haven't even came outside. I don't even think. So my me just being in the house like that, and then just walking out to go try to start the car and all this stuff, and then seeing the activity that I seen. Yeah, they try to put that on your head the first thing, you know. So it scares you, but it didn't scare me. I went and made a video about it because I hope and pray they get exposed. I hope these police, these bullies. I mean, you're a police officer, so you have a level of, you know, it's just weird. You're a police officer and you're out here bullying people. Like, you're using your power in the most wrong way. CPS people, they think they God themselves. They think they're gods themselves. Just bullying people out their kids. Just snatching some damn kids from people. Do you know how traumatizing that is for a child? Just to be snatched away from their mother, snatched away from their home. Whether you think or not the mother lives poorly, or is a good mother or a bad mother, snatching a child away from their mother. And they don't just snatch a child away for a couple days, a weekend. No, this shit goes for months. They got your children, and then tell you can only visit an hour or two, while they watch you visit your damn child in a damn facility place. So that means your child is looking at you like, oh, you're real bad. I want to go home with you. Why can't I go with you? They don't even know them people all up in their face asking them a million questions. Could you imagine? Talking about they got holes in the system. Y'all got more than holes in the system. Y'all crookeder than the parents y'all accusing. Shit. No. I'll tell you. It is a mess. It is a real live mess. The situation is a mess. A real mess. Yeah, but that's all I really wanted to say right now. I'm just, the coronavirus, these people, like, they just don't quit. They don't stop. They don't stop until God himself stops them. Then they have no choice but to stop. Because he's going to make them stop. Yeah.